What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the Luigi's Mansion 4 concept series. Today, we are going to be exploring Boo Manor. We're going to be checking out each floor, seeing what it's all about, and checking out specific rooms throughout the mansion. So I really hope you guys enjoy this part. It's going to be a pretty big one in my opinion. There's lots of new things I'm going to show you here. So if you like it, definitely subscribe down below, hit that like button and that notification bell so that you can be notified of future parts in this series as they release. So, without any further ado, let's take a walk into Boo Manor and explore it. As you can see here, we are in the foyer, or foyer if you're a lame-o like me and just are too lazy to pronounce it all fancy-like. Now, this is a room you guys have seen before. I showed you this in last year's project, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to pull up the map, and we're going to go through this mansion floor by floor and talk about the general themes of each floor as it would be in the game. Structure-wise, this game would kind of be a blend of the first game and the third game, where each floor is pretty self-contained, but it's all interconnected through the mansion. So think about it as you're completing a floor like in Luigi's Mansion 3, but it's not as linear, it's more open, and there's connectivity between the floors, so it all kind of blends together. Alright, so we're going to start on the first floor. Now you'll see that all of the rooms on this floor are purple. What this means is that any room that is purple is part of the first area or first part of the game. The theme of this floor is just the standard mansion. You have the foyer, you have the butler's closet, you have a dressing room, you have a dining room, living room, kitchen, pantry, lots of different stuff like that. There's a few interesting little rooms thrown in to spice it up a little bit. You have a ritual room, you know, where there's a ritual and you earn the fire medal. There's a playroom, there's a hidden room, and there's a hidden hallway. And you see that white rectangle there? That white rectangle means that that's a door that you can only find using the dark light. The dark light, just like in the previous Luigi's Mansion games, is an ability you get later on. But I will talk more about the dark light and other poltergust functionalities in a later part. There's not much to really say about this floor, but I will take you guys inside of the living room, which we have seen before, but you'll get another nice little peek. So let's go in. Ah, the living room. It's quite nice, even though there's an ominous painting of King Boo in the background. There's not really much to say on this room because, like with the foyer, you saw this last time. There's not too much to say, but this is a living room, and I thought I would take you in here again just to see what it looks like again. Let's actually walk out into the hallway. Now, there is something I want to point out with this shot of the hallway. It actually does line up with a particular spot on the map. So I'm going to pull up the map again, and I can have you guys try to guess where on the map this part of the hallway is. I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Alright, if you figured it out, then congratulations, you guys are smart. It is here. You can see the 2 doors on the right going back, and that's basically the main giveaway. Alright, I think that's enough of floor 1. Let's head up to floor number 2. Okay, so here we have a little more of a colorful floor. Floor 2's theme is that it's the returning portrait ghost, because there have been many portrait ghosts and human ghosts throughout the Luigi's Mansion series that people have come to love, and well, they're not all bad, but certain ones I've selected to come back. I really wanted this game's portrait ghost focus to be on newer ghosts, but I figured it would be a crime not to have some return. Just a few of the ones I would love to return are even the first 3 from the original Luigi's Mansion game, being Neville, Lydia, and Chauncey. But just like in both Luigi's Mansions 1 and 3, at the end of each area, or floor, there is a boss ghost for you to fight. And on this floor, it would be in the art gallery. Now, is there a specific artist ghost that we know about in the Luigi's Mansion series? Well, yeah, it's Van Gogh. Van Gogh would be the boss ghost in this floor, and he would fight you using his paintbrush, trying to attack you with paint, and I think it'd be a really cool theme for him. They didn't really give him a very big battle back in the original game, they just made him basically a gauntlet of common ghosts, so giving him a little more of a full-fledged battle I think is fitting for Van Gogh, especially because he's a really cool ghost concept, especially that his paintings and art turns to life. there's so much they could do with it. As I mentioned earlier, each color represents an area, and purple represents Area 1, as you can see by the foyer. Blue represents Area 2, and red represents Area 3. There is a guest bedroom in the second floor area that is red. That signifies that this is not a room that you unlock while completing Area 2. This is something you do during Area 3. Speaking of, let's head up to the third floor and see what's up there. So here's the third floor. This floor's theme is recreation, a bunch of different activities for all the ghosts that inhabit this house to do. Like I mentioned in the first part, this house is the Boo's main house, but of course there's obviously also the portrait ghosts that also reside here. And there's many different rooms. There's a fitness center, a gaming room, there's a casino-like room, there's a kids area, lots of different places for the ghosts to go. As you can see on the top right here, there's a pink area. Well, pink represents Area 4. I'll talk a little bit more about the Area 4, obviously, when we get to the next floor, but I do want to show you the crime scene room. Here we have it. This is a room where a horrible crime has taken place. There is tape outlining, which shows a dead body, which, yes, makes a death canon in a Luigi's Mansion game, even though death actually has been canon in the original Luigi's Mansion game, but regardless, someone has died, and it is actually this detective. This detective has died, and he does not know who killed him. But we'll get into his storyline in a little bit. So Area 3 does not consist of long hallways you have to traverse. It's one big common area, which is the lobby, and all these different rooms surrounding it. So it's a little more unique than the other floors in the mansion. And I think that's really all I have to say on floor 3, so let's go up to floor 4. Up here on the 4th floor, there's a lot of different rooms for you to explore. Now, let's actually talk about the detective ghost again. The thing with him is that he was murdered, but he doesn't quite know who's done it. All he knows is that it was a ghost that resided on the 4th floor. And he knows that all of the ghosts contain a clue as to which of the ghosts actually did it. So as you can see on the map, there's little magnifying glass icons that indicate that there is a clue in that specific room. Once you defeat a portrait ghost, you get a specific clue that'll help you piece together which one of the portrait ghosts that you caught in this area was the one that murdered Lucky, which is the name of the detective ghost. So, once you clear all the ghosts up here and get all the clues, you go back down to the 3rd floor and catch Lucky. But I will talk more about that when I talk about the portrait ghosts in a later video. Other than that, there's not too much really to say about this floor. I mean, you get the ice elemental on this floor, there's a bunch of clues, and there's even a couple hidden rooms for you to find, being a hidden treasure room, which has a bunch of ghosts in it, and a hidden closet up towards the top. Other than that, though, that is floor 4, so let's head up to the 5th floor, which might be my personal favorite. Up here, we are in the attic. Now, the attic's theme is just that. It's a dark, creepy attic. A floor with no windows, absolutely none. It's all dark, and everything up there is, as you can tell by the titles of the rooms, decrepit. Everything is very worn down, basically at the point of breaking, making these rooms feel even more creepy for you to explore. It's structured kind of like Luigi's Mansion 1's 3rd floor, where there's 2 hallways that run along each side, and there are different rooms attached to each hallway. Let's actually go into one of these rooms and see what it's like. We're going to go into the decrepit master bedroom, up towards the ladder that goes to the roof. Okay, good, there's no ghost in here. Whew! But besides that, it's a pretty rustic looking master bedroom. And of course, in typical Luigi's Mansion style, you'll have to make sure to actually explore all the rooms, because some things might not be what they seem. Just take a look at this. Yes, moving this portrait on the wall will reveal a hole full of treasure for Luigi to collect, which I'll talk about what Luigi will do with that treasure in another part. There's little secrets like that all over the mansion, just like Luigi's Mansion 3, where every single room has something to loot in it. And don't worry guys, we'll be coming back to these rooms in a later part, because each one of these rooms I'm showing you has specific ghosts tied to it. So there's actually a specific ghost that's tied to this room, but we'll meet him later. For now, let's leave and get ready to go to the 6th floor. But before I go, like I mentioned, each area has a specific color, and as you've probably noticed, Area 5, or the 5th floor, has a color of green, and that's about it. Now, there is also a roof but there's not really much going on the roof, so we will just move on and go all the way down to Area 6, which is in the basement. So here we are in the cellar. Now there's actually a whole outside portion, which I didn't mention just yet. As you can see on the left, there's a staircase that goes up to the courtyard. This leads to like a storm cellar type door situation. I'll put a picture up to more so explain what I mean, but that would go down to this cellar. In this cellar, it's got a very cavey-like feel. There's a bunch of, you know, like a tavern and a waste room with like a bunch of garbage in it, and also the rubble room, which also has more garbage in it, a destroyed room, which is a room in complete disarray, the laundry room, the washroom, a bunch of different rooms that are just completely in disarray. Oh, and there's an overgrown underground garden where you get the Earth Elemental. This is a new elemental evolving from the first game where you shoot out rocks, but rocks are in finite supply. But again, that'll be talked about in a later video. And in this area, yellow is the color that represents Area 6, so these are the rooms you explore in the area. Now, the room on this floor I want to show you is the surveillance room. There's a ghost that's watching you the whole entire time you explore this mansion. Let's get a peek into that room. Whoa, this is pretty high tech. Some modern looking monitors with cameras all over the mansion. A button that does God knows what. This is a really high tech little setup. I wonder who's here. Don't worry, you'll get to meet her later on, but this is our little surveillance room in the basement. Whew, we are almost done, you guys. We got one more floor to take a look at. Let's head downstairs even more to the cellar. Here we are, the cellar. Now, this floor is pretty creepy. This floor is the finale floor where King Boo has his altar, as you could see. Then there's the boiler room and the flooded room, which the flooded room would leave an interesting puzzle where the door to the flooded room, even when you unlock it, it won't open. Something's keeping it shut. If the name of the room didn't give it away, water is holding the door shut. So you've got to find the source of the leak, and you've got to neutralize it and drain the room. Well, that can only be done by fixing some pipes and sealing them up, so that the water is not leaking anymore, and so that the water can drain out. But where would a pipe room be? Where have we seen one before? Oh, there's one upstairs. This door is white, meaning you have to use the dark light to find it. So you really have to use your dark light and explore every inch of the mansion to make sure that you find every secret, because even though this room just has a bunch of common ghosts in it, it's still a room you have to go through. So you have to really pay attention and find that hidden door. Anyways, there's actually two rooms I want to show you on this floor. Firstly, let's head to the electrical room. Yeesh, this room's seen better days. There's a bunch of exposed wires on the ground. They could easily electrocute someone. Right now it seems like everything is switched off, but when we talk about portrait ghosts, you're gonna see a ghost in here that can cause quite a bit of trouble and could really hurt Luigi. So I think for now we're gonna leave this room be, but we will definitely come back here. And I think the only other room that really stands out is a fanatic's room. Fanatic? Fanatic of what? Well, let's look inside. Whoa, okay. This person, whoever sleeps here, is obsessed with Luigi. Has stolen some things like Luigi's tennis racket and even Luigi's dice block from Super Mario Party. Different bits of Luigi memorabilia in here, even some of Luigi's clothes. This ghost must have had a heyday stealing a bunch of stuff. There's even some portrait ghost paintings over here. Must have gotten them in the garage sale that Professor Egad had. Good job, Egad. We'll meet the spooky obsessed specter that loves Luigi in another part, but I did want to show you his room as I'm quite proud of it. So there you have it, guys. Those are the rooms in the mansion that I wanted to show off today, and you guys mostly know the layout of the mansion, but there were some new rooms, as you saw, that I definitely wanted to show off to you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this part, and stay tuned for next week's part where we are going to go over Egad's Lab, the Poltergust, and the Game Boy Horror Advance. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I really hope you guys will enjoy it. So until next time, you guys, I will see you all in the next part.